Hey guys, and welcome back to Playtech TV. My name is Greg, and today we're going to be looking at the MSI GS73 I have behind me here. And I'm going to let you in on a little bit of a secret here, guys. It is awesome, and I'm going to tell you exactly why in just a moment. But first, we want to cover the basics. The GS73 ticks all the normal boxes of a gaming laptop. It's got an i7 processor, the 6700HQ to be exact, 8 gigs of 2400 MHz DDR4 RAM, a 256GB PCIe SSD, and a 1TB mechanical drive. But it has a few unique features that change it from being just a great gaming notebook into being an amazing gaming notebook. In fact, one of the best I've ever seen. So let's start with the screen. It's a full HD IPS panel, but the amazing thing about this is it's also 120Hz. So for gaming, especially stuff like CSGO and fast-paced stuff like that, it just looks amazing. And the chassis of this notebook is absolutely tiny. We're looking at 19.6 mils thick. That's ridiculous, 19.6 mils. That is absolutely insane. For a 17-inch gaming notebook, that is tiny. It's so rare to see a powerful gaming notebook like this be so thin without compromising some other aspect of performance, ports, something like that. So I'm really impressed by that. Now, the number one thing that makes this notebook so impressive to me is the actual graphics card inside it, a GTX1060. Now, if you're into gaming notebooks, you'll know that most notebooks have a mobility graphics card in them. A mobility graphics card is a chopped down, lower powered version of a graphics card. Unfortunately, this means that they're usually much weaker than their desktop counterpart. Whereas on the GS73 here, we actually have the same chip that you would get on a desktop GPU. Which means that the performance is actually very, very, very close to having a desktop graphics card in your notebook. And I was totally skeptical about this at first. I really just didn't believe it. I thought it was a load of crap. So what I did was I loaded up the new Deus Ex game because I just got that the other day and I'm having a blast with it. And I know that it's an absolute punisher on systems. So I loaded up Deus Ex on the MSI GS73 and I ran through the benchmark a couple times. This notebook was actually getting average frame rates of 47 frames on high settings at 1080p. But I couldn't just leave it there. I had to go one step further. So I loaded up my PC, I got out my GTX 1060 that I had lying around, and I whacked it in and I ran through the benchmarks again just to see what we'd get. And what I found was that on the desktop GTX 1060, we were getting about 52 FPS average. So that's only a difference of 5 frames, or you could say it's about 10% difference. That is so close. That is the closest I've ever seen between a desktop and a mobility GPU in terms of frame by frame performance. Obviously there was a little bit of a variation in the minimum frame rate, but as you can see, the maximum frame rate and the average frame rates were really, really close. So actually playing the game and running the benchmark, you can't really notice those minimum frame rates. Like, it's just slipping through for like a millisecond, not enough to notice. And that absolutely blew me away. I've never seen a desktop GPU compare with a notebook GPU so closely. And especially on a notebook this thin, it's absolutely crazy. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what a GTX 1080 is like in a notebook, which we should see later in the year. Unfortunately, I've got to send the notebook back now, so I can't do any more in-depth tests on it, but I am really impressed by these new Pascal GPUs in the notebooks. That's all for today, guys. I just wanted to share with you some of these cool new notebooks. They got me really excited, so obviously I just wanted to share that a little bit. But I'll see you next time on Playtech TV.